There we are. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Weekends. My name is Kathy Rañeses. I work as the resident life coach at Centro Holistico, and today I am joined by Dr. Mike Vergara. Hi, Doc Mikey. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Wonderful Sunday morning.
Lovely to see you. I love the background. It's so sunny.
Yep.
You look so happy today. Hindi halatang puyat.
It's a sunshiny Sunday morning, and I'm in my garden.
Yeah. There's a lot to be grateful for today, no? Despite what is
Yes.
happening outside your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. And how
Sige,
are you
Doc,
doing? Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I've been worrying a little bit because of like just what's been happening. Like I can't plan my life. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for other people to, diba, like to give the go signal of like what's gonna happen next week. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I've
Yeah.
been like trying to meditate and just do breath work and like ground myself because
Uh-huh.
there's no use worrying it. It's really
Correct.
out of
Correct.
our
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. Even as doctors, we can't do anything, no?
Mm-mm.
Except, treat patients, no,
Yeah.
on individual basis. But the worldwide pandemic, it's kind
Yeah.
of nothing we can do. We can advise, we can talk, we can share like now, no?
Exactly.
Share with people.
Oo.
It's why we're here.
Exactly. But ibang level yung stress the second time around. Parang I guess no, first we didn't know what to expect. So parang everybody was just accepting of everything. And the second time around, parang there's a lot more parang just frustration in general
Yeah.
in the air, which really is not good for any of us, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Doc Mikey, we have such an interesting topic today. And I'm so lucky to have you on board to talk about it. And this is really geriatric health and wellness.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we're sheltering at home. We're living with our extended families, or we are part of this group and we just want to educate ourselves a lot more about what is happening, or we're taking care of somebody who's a senior citizen, and it's really tough to do, especially during a pandemic. Diba?
Yeah.
Parang
Yeah.
you hear that a lot na parang baliktad na ngayon. Yung mga anak ngayon yung pinapagalitan yung mga magulang nila na wag matigas yung ulo. Stay indoors.
That's right. That's right. But we should be aware of what our parents need.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's easy to say stay home, diba? Spend their next year or two at home.
Yeah.
But that's not what they need. No, they need to socialize. No, they have to talk to friends. Keep
Exactly.
updated, things like that.
Yeah.
They're
They're
exercise, diba? And get sunshine.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think there really is a lot of education needed, in this topic. Yeah. So Doc Mikey, just to start, can you please just start it off with what is geriatrics exactly? Like may ano ba to? May age group ba talaga to? Or depende sa feeling mo?
Correct. Geriatrics, is the study of medicine for the elderly. Okay. The question now is, who is considered elderly? In the Philippines, senior citizen is 60 years old, diba? Ako
Yes.
senior citizen, 62. Okay. In other countries, 65, may 67, diba? So it's not always the same. So you can't peg a senior citizen as having, reached a certain age alone. No.
Yeah.
Formally, yeah, you can. No. Legally, yes, you can to make things easy. But basically, the elderly is a group of or a subset of the population that needs special care. Okay? Special care due to the aging process. Okay? So if you're like a 25-year-old person and you break your leg, No,
Mhm.
you need care, okay? But you're not considered uh, elderly, di ba?
Correct.
Elderly, a 75-year-old person with arthritis of the knee, no, not as bad as a fracture of the leg,
Mm-mm.
he or she will need care, no? And that she will need, she will need geriatric care, no?
Mhm.
Because the approach to the elderly, no, will be different from the approach to the younger population, because the elderly, their faculties are not quite there, no,
Yes.
not they're not as robust as they were when they were young. Their
Mhm.
immune system isn't that strong.
Yeah.
uh, One thing we all have to know and accept is, as we age, no, our body deteriorates. Okay, I've had patients that wanted me to make them live till 120, 110.
Mhm.
I said, I can't do that. No, I can
Yeah.
make you live a very good, comfortable life. No, but the moment we are born, there is a countdown already. No, we can only take so much heartbeat, so much breaths. No, and
Mhm.
one day it will totally get disappear from you, no, and that we have to accept. Once you
Yes.
accept that, I think your fear of dying, no, will be drastically cut, no.
Yeah.
The acceptance that we are here on a temporary basis, uh,
Mhm.
we are in borrowed time. Biblically, we are spiritual beings in the physical world, okay? In
Yes.
a borrowed physical body. That physical body will deteriorate given, no? The good things our spirits won't, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, our spirits won't. And that's where you find strength now, no? In going or moving on to the next life, no? Get your
Mm-mm.
strength from your spirit, no?
Yeah. That
Much
is that
stronger.
that is true.
Yeah, that's who you are. No, you are your spirit. You are not your body. No,
Mhm.
you are your spirit.
But I think for people to really unpack that, there really has to be also a certain level of awareness, diba, with regard to knowing
Yeah.
na I am not just my body. A lot
Yes.
of the times kasi tuwing Sunday lang natin naaalala na, o nga pala, may spirit nga pala tayo.
Yeah. But in my clinic, basically, we understand this. Okay.
Yeah.
There are 14 of us doctors there.
Mhm.
We're all like-minded.
Yeah.
We understand the importance of the balance of the mind and body and soul.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Tama. Which kind of leads me to my next question, Doc. Kasi I think like for a lot of, at least my experience with like the seniors in my life, ano sila medyo takot sila magpatingin sa doktor. Parang,
yeah,
they're scared of getting a checkup kasi takot sila na baka may
yeah,
malaman sila hindi nila
yes,
nagugustuhan.
yes, yes. Yeah.
So they kahit may nararamdaman na sila, like they don't want to like go to a hospital. They don't
Okay.
want
Yeah, yeah,
to sit there. So yeah, so my question is like how do we care for our older adults differently than you would if you went to like a conventional hospital?
yeah. Again. When you grow old and you start losing your strength, your memory, and all of that stuff. No, like me, but I used to run a lot. No, I used to run for my school. I used to golf for my school. No, I used to fight for my school. Now, I go, okay, if I go have myself checked and they find something wrong with my heart, parang I can't accept it, no? Because I
Mm,
know myself as a strong person, what?
yeah.
Full of vigor and energy, and then, I get an X-ray or a CT scan or an ECG,
Yeah.
that tells me that I'm actually not as good as I think I am, no?
Mhm.
So that's a little, that's a little unnerving, and
Yeah.
I will have to swallow my pride in that case.
Mm-mm.
So the way we do it really in Central Mexico is we don't look at patients. Oh, this is so trite already, no? But we don't look at patients as case numbers. No?
Yeah.
We get to know our patients. No, we get to know their families.
Mm-hmm.
We get to know the circles they mingle around with, and more importantly, we get to know what they eat. No?
Yes.
Yeah, we get to know their lifestyle. It's different, diba? You go to a
Yeah.
you go to a regular. Sorry if I use that word, a regular doctor,
Mm-mm.
and they'll sit down and take your blood pressure, pulse, or whatever, and say, "Oh, your blood pressure's high, you have hypertension, go home." Diba? These are the meds. No?
Yeah.
Kami sa Centro Holistico, your blood pressure's high, we'll say, "Okay, what is stressing you today?
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Mm-mm.
did you eat last night? Diba?
Mm-mm.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
Yeah.
Do you have issues uh, with your children, with your
Mm.
spouse, or what? Diba?
Yeah.
Were you actually born premature or not? Diba?
Yeah.
All the way there. No?
Mm-mm.
Were you CS or naturally born? Things like that. No?
Oo. Grabe nga
Honestly,
yung mga questions, like, mga hindi mo, at least for me, when I did mine, parang mga hindi ko akalain na tatanungin sa akin ng doktor, like, even like, what is the color of your poop and how frequently do you go to the bathroom?
oh yeah, very important. Very important. Uh, yeah. Urine. I always check the color of the urine. Huh? I
Mm.
always ask my patients, especially the elderly. No, I always ask them about the color of their urine. Again, the color of the urine should be like straw yellow, very light
Mm.
yellow.
Yeah.
Once it turns dark, that means it's concentrated already.
Yeah.
One of
Like
the
the
main issues, one of the main issues I see with most elderly uh, patients or people is that they don't take enough water. They don't take enough fluid.
Mm.
When you don't take enough fluids, your joints start aching. No, you're
Mm.
not able to flush out these salts and crystals that come with your food. Diba? With
Got it.
water, you make wee wee. No, so all of
Yeah.
these salts and crystals excess goes out. If you
Mm.
don't, they start accumulating, and they accumulate in places like the kidney and the joints. So they
Yeah.
start complaining, masakit ang
Mm-mm.
joints ko. No? Many of them, all they need is a good amount of water, and
Yeah.
many of their symptoms will disappear. Oh, they get, about when you grow old, your skin kind of crumples a little bit. No?
Yeah. You
Many,
get like
many times,
wrinkles.
yeah, many times that's because of hydration alone.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that when you deal with the elderly, no, I always make sure not to ask them to take enough fluids. Okay,
Mm.
then they say yes, I take enough fluids. I take so many glasses and all. What I make them do is their quota for the day. I make them put it already on the table. Okay, put it on the table so you
Uh-uh.
can see, no, along through the course of the day,
Mm.
uh, if you're actually taking it or not. No,
Yeah.
because it's easy to say yes, I take enough fluids. Do you know that if it comes to a point where you're thirsty already and you're looking for water to drink, you have consumed already 20% of your body fluids, no, and that's not good.
Ah.
That's not healthy. Yeah, you'll see that your urine is already concentrated. It's dark
Mm.
yellow. No? Of course, if you take some vitamins, also it ends up dark yellow.
Becoming, yeah. Or like neon
Mm.
yellow. Take a lot of vitamin C.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. So water, simple, diba? Simple.
Yeah.
Take water, but many people forget. Many
Yeah.
people forget.
I think even the younger generation, I know, parang
Yes,
yes, we drink a lot of water, but in general, no, we drink a lot of iced tea, we drink a lot of Coke,
yeah.
we don't drink that much water.
Do you know
So it really
if you take
would
tea,
remind
if you take
you.
tea or coffee, no,
Mhm.
the younger generation, they're a coffee generation. No,
Yeah.
they are diuretics. No, they actually uh, take out most of the a lot of the fluids in your body. So
Yeah.
whenever you take, let's say, a cup of coffee, you take a cup of water afterwards. Okay,
Mm.
you take a tall tall glass of latte or something like that, no?
Yeah.
You take you recover. No? You recover by taking
So you
water.
need an equally big glass of water. Yeah, I'm a fan of Kangen water, so that's all I tend to drink nowadays.
That's good. That's good
Um,
stuff. That's good
yeah,
stuff.
it's helped. It's helped. It's really helped. So Doc Mikey, we get a lot of older adults that really come into the clinic. What are the common problems that our patients usually come in for?
Yeah, most of the time it's pain. Okay, they
Okay.
have a painful back, painful knee, painful shoulders, headaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's discomfort,
Yeah.
discomfort. Yeah, and the important thing to know there is whether it's been chronic, no?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's acute, meaning did it just happen,
Yeah.
or has it been with you for some time?
Yeah.
Uh, Most of the time, pains are neuromuscular, no? Or musculoskeletal in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a little scoliosis for women, no?
Mm-hmm.
Kyphosis when you kind of face, you're stooped
Moving
forward.
forward.
Yeah. Um, People with heavy stomachs, okay,
Mhm.
get low back pain, no, because the a person carries the weight of the upper body, no, is borne by the abdominal muscles
Mhm.
and the muscles
Ah,
of the back. Yeah. If the abdominal muscles are hindi yung six pack, yung isa lang, no? Yung one big lump like that.
one pack.
There's not much power there, no. So much of the weight is now carried by your back muscles.
Oh,
Diba?
got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then there's that strain in the back muscle.
Hmm.
Again, knee pains are common. Again, when
Mhm.
you're overweight, your knees as well, no, take the
Mhm.
brunt of the weight of the body, no, including the bottom now.
Yeah.
And as we age, the cartilage in our knees, they start getting pud. The cartilage in our knees, like
Yeah.
like chinelas, no.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the more pud it gets. No?
Mm-mm.
I remember once I was a kid and I could actually feel the heat of the asphalt, no, under my chinelas, no. Then when
Mm-mm.
I looked, it was butas na pala. No, that's how it is. That's how it is with the knee, diba?
Yeah.
And then there's no more uh, fluidity, no? Yeah, in
Mm.
its motion.
Mm-mm.
And there are things you can do to prevent that, no?
Yeah.
Vitamin C, no, helps a lot.
Ah,
Vitamin
okay.
C, vitamin C makes for more production of RBC, no, or red blood cells and
Mm.
hemoglobin. So it
Mm.
gives you more oxygen, no. It makes the
Yeah.
blood more vigorous to move around your body,
Mm-hmm.
deposit oxygen, deposit nutrients, take out
Mm-hmm.
the lactic acids that build up. No?
Got it. What about collagen? Does collagen help, or is it more like aesthetic lang?
No. If you eat or drink or swallow collagen, it doesn't become collagen. Okay.
Ah, so
Yeah.
that's a myth.
You take things like vitamin C, which are precursors, no,
Mhm.
precursors, or what you can almost call like a provitamin, no,
Got
that
it.
eventually it will lead to more collagen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't eat this. I see sometimes this shark collagen,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Exfoliant.
yeah, and then it develops collagen in the knee. No, sharks don't have knees, right?
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking of, diba? Uh, so
Or like the Chinese like collagen, like the five treasure soup where like you put everything there.
yeah.
And the expectation is babata ka sa mga kinakain mo because it's all just collagen. So that doesn't really necessarily
No,
translate.
no, no, not at all, not at all.
Mm,
Instead of that, go for a vitamin C drip, diba?
yes.
Then your immune system is strong. You have
Mhm.
collagen. Your skin is good. No,
Yeah.
you have more oxygen in your blood, diba?
Yeah.
That's why after a vitamin C trip, you feel like kumit-hit ka or something like that. Na,
Yeah.
ta-da!
Parang ang taas ng energy level mo after.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the question lang, no, pagdating sa mga, I think we're talking about supplements na. What usually happens, kasi like, well, like, halimbawa, sinamahan ko yung tita ko, like, to a doctor or whatever. Napansin ko, the first thing na ililista niya or kukwento niya sa doktor niya are like the maintenance meds that she's on. Like, Doc, I'm taking this and this and this and
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
Is like coming from a functional medicine and integrative
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Di ba, parang we know that like taking all these maintenance meds also, lalo na
Uh-huh.
like for the senior, isn't really very good for your liver
Yep.
or your
Yep.
kidneys.
Yeah.
So do we do something different ba at Centro when we kind of like
Yes.
address all these problems?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when they come up with lists, sometimes as much as 24 to 30 medicines, no? Uh,
Parang
but
proud ba?
yeah, and sometimes pa, no, I came across some patients, they take the same medicine twice because one doctor gave one brand and the other doctor gave another brand, but it's the same medicine. Diba?
Mhm.
So they're taking it twice and then they come and go, why do I feel worse when I take my medicine? Diba? So it's really strange. But what we do is we study the meds that are being given and see if we can offer a an option, no, a better, more effective, hopefully cheaper option. No? And we try to look for this in food.
Yeah.
Okay? In food, if possible, no, because it's in food that you get, the true energy, of for nutrition, no. It once your food has been touched already, or uh, pardon? Processed. That's the word. Yeah. Once food has been processed already, kind of doubt already, no? Uh, because of the handling, the additives, the chemicals placed, things like that. But not all processed foods naman are bad. But in general,
Yeah.
yeah, try to keep away from it. So we try to look for alternatives. Okay.
Yeah.
And aside from that, me personally, I always question the diagnosis when a patient comes and says, "Doc, may hypertension ako. Itong iniinom ko." No, I apologies to the other doctors out there, no? But I never believe it. Okay, I ask, okay, so when was it diagnosed? No, and they say, last month. No, and I asked, how did they diagnose? No? And they say, well, I went in for a knee checkup and they took my blood pressure and it was high, so they gave me medicine. You do not diagnose give a diagnosis of hypertension on the first visit. You don't. The definition of diagnosis from the AMA, American Heart Association, is in 3 different occasions when the blood pressure is taken, when a patient is rested for 30 minutes, 3 different days, if it's consistently high on those 3 occasions, then you have hypertension. If at one of those 3 you don't, no, then it might not be hypertension. Maybe you're worried, diba? Maybe you watched an NBA game and your team lost, like me. When my team loses, I get stressed, diba? So, and then I go see the doctor and my blood pressure is high and he says I have hypertension. It's not right. It's not right.
Yeah,
Okay?
that makes sense. Kasi I
Yeah.
think usually, at least like naging experience ko with like friends who are hypertensive, the doctor says, pag nararamdaman mo na siya, punta ka na sa clinic para ma-check namin. Pero yeah, that makes sense. Parang you're setting yourself up nga for failure na alam mo na nga mataas yung BP mo, pupunta ka para magpa-check to confirm na mataas yung BP mo.
Yeah. Same thing with diabetes, no? Let's say the upper limit is 125, no, FBS, no? And you're 125, you're okay, you're not diabetic. Then the next guy comes in, he's 126, you're diabetic. You're
Mm.
126, diba? It's just that, come on, no? Study the patient. Be patient, no? Be patient.
Be
Study.
patient with the patient.
Yeah. Do your due diligence. That's what doctors are
Mm.
supposed to do. And then, instead of giving medicine, you try to make them change their lifestyle. The
Mm.
problem with maintenance medicine is, by the time you die, you're still a hypertensive. Diba? Were you ever cured? No,
Mm.
no. Your blood pressure was controlled, yeah, no, but you weren't cured. No,
Yeah.
in diabetes, same thing. If you don't change your lifestyle and you're just taking medicine, by the time you die, no,
Mhm.
you're still a diabetic.
Yeah.
In Central Mexico, it's a different story.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a different story because we try to cure and we know we can cure.
Mm.
No? We know because of our experience, no, personal experience.
Yeah.
Uh, we practice. Most of us practice. I think all of us practice integrative medicine.
Yeah.
Okay, Eastern and Western medicine. No, you throw in a functional medicine in, no, and we do integrative and functional medicine. No?
Yeah.
And in Chinese medicine, like acupuncture and all, no, and
Mhm.
herbal medicine, no, good diet, you can totally reverse hypertension and you can totally reverse diabetes. No,
Yeah.
it may be hard at sometimes, no, but it's
Mhm.
not something that you will definitely live with for the rest of your life. No,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
no. It need not be the case. Sometimes naawa ko sa mga pasyente, no, na
Mm-mm.
I see them, they're suffering and they're just taking medicines to
Yeah.
to control their blood pressure or blood sugar. And I look at them and I shake my head and I say, if only they go to Central East, we're gonna get rid of them of their problems, their issues.
Yeah. I think it's also then that ano the part of the fear, no, of like going to the doctor is if you get diagnosed with something for the rest of your life na yan. Parang we don't realize na even in old age we can still reverse.
Worse.
Like the continuum of health can move
Yeah.
forwards and not backwards.
Of course. Yep, you got it. No? You
Mm-mm.
got it. And people they don't want to, don't want to get checked up now because of the fear that they may have to take medicines for life, diba?
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise known as maintenance meds.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
nobody wants that, but that's
Yeah.
how medicine's been practiced now, no? And it's so sad. No? I find it very sad that that's how it is. Not all doctors, okay?
Yes.
There are many good doctors out there. Um, so yeah, so when a patient comes to me, an elderly patient comes to me, I always question: are you sure you have it? Let me test. Okay? Are you sure you have
Mm.
diabetes? Let me test. No? Let me see what the cause of your knee pains are. Okay? Is it because you don't have any more cartilage, or maybe you're just not taking enough water? Well,
Yeah.
your back pains, is it muscular or from your kidney? No. So it's not as if we don't know our Western medicine or our allopathic medicine. We do,
Yeah.
no? But we have a bigger bag of tricks, okay?
Yeah.
A bigger bag of meds, a more, should I say, general or more broad approach in understanding the patient, especially the geriatric patients. The
Yeah.
geriatric patients are a special subset, no, of the
Mm.
population. Different
So,
needs.
yeah. So, Doc, do you feel like, for example, like I'm in my 30s and going through my treatment protocols, it really required me to have a complete lifestyle change, lalo na when it came to the food that I was eating. Kasi nasanay ako to eat a certain way.
Yeah, yeah,
So like changing the way my plate looked, for example, like 50% vegetables, was, it was really difficult for me to kind of implement for myself just because for the past 30 years, ito yung nakasanayan ko. Do you
yeah.
find that is it more difficult with geriatric patients, or are they more open to
Well, it's a little more difficult, no? because
Mm.
you've been doing that thing for 30 years, and then they've been doing it for 70.
Exactly.
So, there's a term, no? You can't teach old dogs new tricks. Okay, uh, it might not be a good, no. Uh, uh, anyway, it's more difficult. No,
Yeah.
it's more difficult, but you should. No, you
Yeah.
should be able to do that. Now, you have to make an assessment of the patient. Okay,
Mm.
if the patient is 90 years old, 100 years old, no,
Mm.
and she wants to eat chocolate cake, no, and the doctor says no, because it
Mhm.
might lead to high cholesterol and eventually lead to a heart disease, and you may die one day, no, if you eat a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
For me, that's too much. I have a patient who's 101 actually,
Oh
and
wow.
I make her eat anything, no, anything she likes, no, eat. You know why? She won't die of
Exactly. She
you know,
lived till that long.
chocolate cake, di ba? Death by chocolate cake. No, it won't be that way. No, it won't be that way. She most likely will die in a natural way. No?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
many times you have to be able to balance that. No?
Mm.
Uh, what is the person dealing with? Uh, how serious is it? No? Can it actually change? Now, can you actually make the person change the lifestyle so that he or she may live a better quality of life?
Yeah.
Uh, you know, in so many good years, diba? Is it worth it? In short, because
Mm.
if it's not worth it, no, like you have a stage 4 cancer patient, diba? Yeah, there's some things you can do, no, but it comes to a point now. Wala na, no? If the patient gives up, or it's almost nearly impossible to reverse it. Come
Mm.
on, no? Be more, be more kind to them, no?
Yeah.
Make them enjoy, make them
Yeah.
enjoy.
So what I'm hearing from you, Mikey, it's really a balance. So it's not just really talaga the physical. You really need to take
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
mental, emotional, spiritual component
yes, yes,
of the older
yeah,
individuals. Because a lot of the times, yun nga, like for me as a 30-year-old, I'm gonna focus more on my physical because I'm okay pa with my
right.
emotional, mental, etc. I'm a lot more resilient. I guess with when it comes to our seniors, that isn't the case, and that is something that they have more control over rather than the physical. Oh, we have a couple of
Yeah.
shout outs for you from Leticia Abue. Thank you, Mike Vergara and Central Holistico. They're watching members of the Philippine Academy of Acupuncture.
Yes, go.
Awesome. Tess P. Garcia says, good morning, Doc Mikey. And Carmela's, good morning from Melbourne. So she shared this
Wow,
also with her other groups.
wow.
Fantastic.
Hello, guys.
Guys, if you have any questions, just please leave them in the comment section and we'll have Doc Mikey go into that. Ma'an says she's learning a lot, especially she's been diagnosed as hypertensive for 10 years.
Uh huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, I
You know,
think that's another thing, no? Parang like once we're diagnosed with something like diabetes, we just assume that we're just gonna take the same exact medicine
yeah,
forever.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. But it's totally reversible, and I'm talking a couple of months only. Okay,
mm,
I'm talking about a couple of months.
yeah.
Totally reversible, but you have to listen, di ba? And
Yes.
follow. Yeah.
That's the hardest part. Like I've done my work. It really is a patient doctor journey. The doctor
Yeah.
can tell you everything you need to do, pero pag hindi mo naman ginawa or ayaw mong gawin, wala din, sayang.
Yeah, yeah, but like you, Kathy, you saved your own life, right?
Yeah.
By discipline, by being
Yes.
obedient, actually, and having that knowledge, of
Mhm.
what you're doing will lead to something better, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so you actually saved your life
For
with
sure.
the
And I think
elderly. Yeah,
mhm. No, and I
you,
think also like what made me want to do it is the education that I got, like from my central doctor. So I work with Doc Candy, and she was very patient in educating me about what was happening to my body. So the choices that I was making and the equivalent, like I loved sugar. I love sugar. So Doc
Uh-oh.
Candy really had to explain to me like what it was doing to my gut, what it was doing to my iron levels because I was anemic,
Right,
I was lethargic, and it all had to do with my addiction to sugar.
right.
So
Yeah.
once I understood that, that was when, I was, kahit mahirap palitan yung nakasanayan kong habit, I just went back to, no, this is what you do whenever you eat sugar. So let's choose not to do that today.
Yeah, yeah. So now, Kathy, you understand why a consult in at the Central Lisico takes a long time, di ba? Takes a
Yes.
long
Yep.
time. Aside from us trying to mine your history, your medical history, um, we give lots of instructions in education because we
Yes.
cannot follow you wherever you go and say, oh, don't eat that, or don't eat this, diba? Take
Yeah.
this instead of that. No, we have to drive that into your your your, your head actually, or
Yeah.
heart, such
Yeah.
that when you're left alone and no one's watching, and there's chocolate cake on one side and barley grass or something like that on the other side, you're gonna
Yeah.
make the right choice.
Mhm. Yes, definitely. Oh, Letitia says sugar is the number one enemy. I know. But imagine mo growing up, like this was given to us as a reward. Diba? Parang, oh, you
Yeah,
look good at school, reward,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
chocolate.
yeah.
Oh,
Food,
it's something
food as
next
a
to the
reward is
goal.
not good, huh? Food
Exactly.
as a reward is a Filipino thing, no?
It
But it's
is.
not good. It makes for obesity, and eating more than your body actually needs. No?
Exactly.
Yeah, and
And,
then
and it's so hard to unlearn.
yeah, and then you take it all the way. You do that for 70 years, diba?
Exactly.
And then by the time you're 70, I'm sure you'll come and complain, diba? I have
Mm.
diabetes, I have hypertension, I have back pain, I have dementia, and all of that stuff. No,
Yeah.
so now lang, buti nga you're still 30, di ba? I'm already 41. Di ba? So, no. Joke lang. No.
You look it. So that's all that matters. Okay, Iron says, "Good morning, Doc Mikey. Can you please share tips on how to elevate moods of the elderly?"
Okay. Okay. One, okay, for me, the most important thing with the
Good
elderly
question.
is to try to find out what their purpose in life is, or what their purpose for living is. Okay? If it's for their apos, then see your apos more often, di ba? If you're like me,
Mhm.
I like gardening. No, I like being surrounded by yin energy. Then do so, diba? Don't
Yeah.
just think about it. Do something. Okay, I have a 101-year-old uh, patient. No, my favorite patient, 101 years old. Every day, she paints. Okay, every single
Mm.
day in the afternoon after her siesta, she paints flowers. She likes painting flowers every single day. Do you know that last year she had an art exhibit in Ayala Museum, no, showing all of
Oh
her
wow.
painting. Imagine you paint every day. You end up with 100.
Yeah,
She had 100 paintings for her 100th birthday. No, Ayala
that's
Museum.
wonderful.
So here she is, no, really with zest for life because she wants to do it again. No, she wants to
Mhm.
she wants to come up with 110 paintings for her 110th. No. That's too much.
Wow.
I can't promise that. No, pero think that. No,
It's
look.
a good goal to go for.
Yeah, look for something. Okay, that's one. Number two, for the geriatric patients is identify your stresses. Okay, identify your stresses and fix that. Okay, fix that. If your stress is uh, somebody you don't like, no, or you haven't forgiven, forgive the person. No?
Mhm.
Forgive the person. Take that stress out. No, when you die and go to heaven or somewhere else, no, you cannot take this all with you.
Yeah.
You leave that behind. No, that's a burden off. No, if you if you uh, if you have something to say to your child, no, or to your son or daughter, you haven't said that you love him or her in the last 30 years, diba?
Yeah.
And it's there and go, no, nakakahiya because we're a family that doesn't say it. Forget that, okay?
Yeah.
Forget that. Just go on and tell them that you love them, diba?
Yeah.
There was a study, 80-year study or 70 year study, I think in Harvard, longitudinal, okay, from people who were very young, no, in their teens up to the time they got very old and died. Most of them died, and the question at the end of the life was, what was the most important thing in your life? No? And hands down, it was relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, relationships. So when you're in your deathbed, you are thinking of your asawa, you're thinking of your children, your grandchildren, your best friend, your neighbor, your grandparents. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Okay? At least that's the number one thing. So
Mm.
while you're alive, get that get the stress of all of those things away, no? And build from that. No? You can still build it. You can still plant, no? Plant the
Yes.
seeds of love, even if there are some plants that grow in 30 days, di ba?
Mm.
Plant pechay, it will grow in 30 days, no? So you say sorry to your son and for being masungit, no? And then you plant love in 30 days. Boy, you have a different life. You have a son that's all
Exactly.
around you, kissing you everywhere, di ba? Mama, don't leave us yet, di ba? And you won't end up leaving, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really helps again, spirit, emotionally, mentally as well. Yeah, I think holding on to grudges is
Ay,
is
nako.
not,
It's a
not,
poison. It's a
yeah,
poison that you are drinking and not even giving to the person you don't like. Diba? You
exactly.
can die for all you know, and the person won't even know that you're dead. It's a poison
Exactly.
that you hold, no? And
Yes,
instead of giving it to the person you hate, you're the one drinking it. No? It's
exactly.
harming you.
Yeah.
It's harming you.
It
Forget.
brings no good. Which kind of dog brings me to my next question. No? So I think it's very ingrained in the Pinoy culture. I noticed that we don't like to talk about death and dying. I
Yeah.
remember like when my lola was dying in the hospital, ayaw pa sabi ng mom ko kung anong meron siya. Like she passed away. I didn't even know what she had because ayaw nilang pag-usapan sa pamilya.
Uh-huh.
So my question is, how do you kind of like handle end of life preparations, knowing that there is this stigma na ayaw natin pag-usapan yan, like even talking about insurance, 'di ba? Like
Oh
I
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
I have like titas that get mad and are like, bakit mo tinatanong? They're getting mad na kasi they're assuming that I'm thinking na mamatay na sila. Kaya
Yeah,
ako tinatanong. It's not,
yeah,
instead of me acting out of concern because I wanted to
yeah,
make sure na, di ba, like, whatever happens, you guys are good already. You don't have to worry about anything.
yeah. I suggest that in every family there should be this tough guy, okay?
Mm.
Tough person who will ask tough questions. Many times you won't find it in the family. No? Many times it has to be extraneous, a
Yeah.
friend or a doctor, a
Mm-mm.
friend or a doctor. Patients listen to doctors. I don't know why. Okay, but anyway, they listen.
Totoo yan!
They listen. Okay, and I take it upon myself, no, to talk to my patients about it, no, exactly what you said, whether it's the mana, no, the
Mm.
insurance, no, even the arrangements for a funeral,
Yeah.
or DNA do not or DNR do not resuscitate just in case he or she ends up in a hospital.
Yeah.
All of these papers, I make sure that it's malinis na. You know why? That's where their stress comes from. Then
Ah.
they get worried. Then they become masungit. Then when you ask about insurance, they're praning, di ba?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Because they haven't accepted the fact that they may go. Di ba?
Uh-uh.
So you need a tough guy or a tough doctor to be able to set this up. Di ba? What's
Mm-mm.
nice then with the doctor, no, is the patient knows that he or she doesn't have any vested interest. Di ba?
Yes.
Not like if it's one of the recipients of the mana, di ba?
Oo.
Things like that. I tell you, it might not sound very important, but it is. It is. No, for the elderly, that's very, very important. No?
I think peace of mind din for like the entire family, because a lot of the time I think nakasanayan natin is pag pumanaw na, tsaka lang pag-uusapan, 'di ba? Like, oh, so
Yeah,
anong gagawin natin sa bahay? Anong gagawin? And that's where a lot of the infighting,
correct, correct. Yeah.
relatives come
So my
from.
suggestion is, wag lang pag-usapan, no? Write it down. Write
Yes.
it down and make sure that people agree with what is written. If they don't, sige, give us your idea, but we'll make it known. Write it down, no? Because that's where most of the sabi mo kasi hindi ko sinabi yan, mga ganyan. Nako,
He said, she said.
talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It may sound trivial, but it's not. No? It's really, really important, especially with end of life care.
Yeah. Does this happen to you a lot, Doc Mikey? Like when you talk to your patients, is this a topic that comes out a lot?
I bring it out.
Mm.
I bring it out. No,
Mm-mm.
as Filipinos, we do not talk about that stuff. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malaki
We
pa rin
don't.
yung stigma talaga.
Yeah. In
Mm-mm.
fact, sometimes when I bring it out, people, the family, no, will look at me and go, huh? Parang pati yan, tinatanong mo? Ganyan ang I say, yeah, for your own good. Diba?
Yeah.
For
Mm-mm.
your own good.
Mm-mm.
Because I've seen it happen.
Yeah. I think that's a common, parang tinanggap na natin, like that is part of that is part of the cycle of life. Hindi natin
Yeah.
pag-uusapan, and then the next generation will argue about kung ano yung pinag-usapan nila ng pumanaw. And then yun
Yeah.
nga, he said, she said.
Another thing that stresses the elderly, no, is when they lose control of their children, diba?
Yeah.
At one point they were the kings and queens,
Yeah.
no? Whatever they
Exactly.
say, they follow and all. And then when they start getting old and they start losing their memory, losing their mental faculties, diba? And the children know, they start getting anxious, no?
Yeah.
Why is my daughter telling me what to do, diba? I should
Mhm.
know better than her. No, bakit siya ang bida ngayon, hindi ako, no?
Yeah.
That means hindi niya tinatanggap masyado. That happened to me actually. That happened to me with my father.
Yeah.
He was 90 years old, no? So what I did was it took me a while to get him to sit down to listen to me. No?
Mhm.
But I said, Dad, sit down and please listen to me just for about 5 minutes, okay? And I told him, I said, Dad, you took care of me for many, 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 many years, diba? Many years. And I thank you for that. No? You did a good job. I think so. You did a good job in taking care of me. I'm healthy, diba, and all that stuff. I'm happy. Let me take care of you now. Let me take care of you now. No, I would like to take care of you. When will you give me the chance to take care of you? Diba? So we
Yeah.
sat down with my dad, no, my sister, and I think even my wife was there when we sat down with my dad, no?
Mhm.
And we told him, and he totally accepted. This is a very controlling man. Huh?
Yeah.
He's a monster, no?
Alpha male sa alpha male talaga.
Yeah. He totally went, said, okay, no, do that. And things were so good afterwards, no? It
Yeah.
was so good afterwards.
So it really was about communicating with the older adults in the
Yeah.
family. Because I get that. I guess if you've really been in, taking on like the dad role or the mom role for however long, kahit may sarili ng anak yung mga anak mo, anak pa rin yung tingin sa'yo eh.
Yeah. Oh. But in actuality, you're getting demoted, di ba? Dati general ka, ngayon private ka, di ba? Because wala, you don't make the proper decisions na, di ba? Yeah. Things like that. No?
Yeah.
Many times they don't control the coffers anymore, no? Or the so it really becomes you can understand why the elderly are anxious. No?
Yeah.
Uh, they're undergoing many stresses. No? So
Lots of
it's
things
up
are
to
changing. Yeah.
yeah. So it's part of the doctor's life too. No? A doctor's duty to lead them through these stresses.
Yeah.
It's important. I remember when I was in I practiced in the province for many years. No? And in one town where I lived for about 5 years in Quezon province.
Mm-hmm.
When I wake up in the morning, no, about 6:30, I do my little things and all that stuff. When I open my doors at 7 o'clock, may pila na ako sa labas. No?
Oh, wow.
You know, they're all old. They're all
Mm.
old. And they come, they sit down and talk to me kahit walang problema or no medical issue. They come, they sit down, no, just to chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
Naghahanap
them,
ng
yeah,
kausap.
oh, for them, it's like a consult, di ba? They just chat and I go, okay, ano pa, di ba, ganyan na. And they
Oo.
come out afterwards without medicine, of course, because they're not sick, di ba? They're so parang light na and, wow, I'm
Yeah.
okay, I was able to take out something. Then they want to pay pa. You go, no, you don't have to pay for kwento. Pero I'm telling you, ang
Mm.
kwentuhan until lunchtime, lampas lunchtime, from
Yeah.
7 to lampas lunch. They're just there talking.
Yeah. You know, that makes a lot of sense because I deal naman din with a lot of clients naman who are like right now they're super stressed because they're living with the in-laws or they're living with their mom and dad and they're senior citizens na,
Yeah,
and the stress at home is like there is like a power struggle, right?
yeah,
Of like
yeah,
sino yung hari at reyna ng bahay.
yeah,
Um
yeah,
and and yeah, that makes a lot of sense because what I like to explain a lot of the times is that it is very scary for them because here you are, you're going through a lot of changes, like physically, sometimes emotionally, sometimes mentally, that you have no control over, and
yeah,
then you add the pandemic, which they also have no control over. So
yeah.
essentially, they're just really looking for something in their life that they know they have full control on. And if you're stuck at home, that's definitely going to be the home. And a lot of the times, the ways that parang like I have clients work around it is to just be curious and just want to interview like the parents or the in-laws, have them make cuento, right?
Yeah,
Because a lot of the
right.
time,
Oh,
but a lot
yeah.
of the time, the thing that they can control is just remembering how they were back
I'm
then.
telling you, it's magic. It's
Yeah,
magic. Yeah.
it's sharing
Make
like
them
those interesting stories of how they grew
storytelling. Naku,
up.
grabe, oh. Me, I can imagine myself, no? As I age, that the
Mm,
stories I can tell, boy, I'd love those nights, no? Tell
right?
my, tell
Mhm.
whoever, di ba? Tulog na, still talking, no? Sige lang.
Totoo yan.
Yeah, and so many stories. And I actually look forward to telling, my
Yeah,
children, grandchildren, my neighbors, whoever, the
yeah. I think
chickens.
I no, I think that like a lot of people are just too busy with their own lives that we discount, a lot of like the seniors that live with us, that what, they've already lived this full life that we're trying to live. And
Yeah.
they have so many great lessons to impart
Yep.
and
Yeah.
teach. And yet all they really want to do is connect by making cuento, and like it really helps boost their mood kasi they get
Yeah.
to reminisce and be
You know,
nostalgic.
whenever you pass on a story, especially a personal story, down to your children or grandchildren, it's like you're
Mhm.
extending your life. Diba?
Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
if you die, no, or you pass away, that story remains, that memory
Yeah.
remains, your energy, that energy
Mhm.
of your experience, it remains on earth. Diba?
Yeah, that's the legacy,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Mm,
A story is a legacy. No? I can
exactly.
talk to you about my grandfather, diba? I can talk to my
Yeah.
children about and they never met my grandfather, okay?
Yeah,
But I can talk to them and he lives in their hearts, diba?
exactly.
Talk
Yeah.
Talk to the elderly. No,
Yeah.
guys out there listening, talk to the elderly. Okay.
Make the most of their time with you. Like, it really is a choice. You can think that you're stuck with them for the entirety of this pandemic, or you can see it as a blessing that you
Yeah.
really get to ask all these questions about them and their life. And you'll be surprised sa mga kinukwento nila. Like, I
Yeah.
have I have a friend, well, she's my friend's mom. And oh my gosh, yung mga kwento, hindi na PG. Like, ganun na siya. Parang, wow, tita, you lived your life.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting, diba? When you start talking to, you'll get the shock of your lives. I had a patient, no, very old. She was 80 something, 86. No, I tell you, okay, we're all adults here, no, but she started making cuento about her sex life when she
Exactly.
when she was young, and you see her at 86,
Yeah.
and so hard to
Parang
imagine,
kinukulit.
ba? Pero mas exciting pa kaysa sa sex life mo, di ba? Parang, oh my God, really? No? Wow, talagang, wow. It's really fun.
Totoo.
It's really fun. Then you
Yeah.
talk to somebody, war hero pala. I never knew that guy was a war hero. I just saw him
Mm,
as a farmer, di ba? There beside my, and, so, ang galing talaga eh. It's really, it's so, it can be very enriching, no?
yes. For sure. And yeah, so like really like that exchange of stories, that exchange of energy,
Yeah,
it really like helps, not only helps the elderly feel good, but then you learn so many nuggets of information that I didn't know that you were like this. Because like honestly, a lot of the times we disregard our seniors, like the lola's just there, sleeping na
yeah,
naman, or ano. But like, maybe she's just bored, go like connect with her and see what she has to say, or what she has to
right.
explain.
I had a 77-year-old male patient, okay, who the family thought was about to go, okay.
Mhm.
So I did my house visit. I talked to him, no, and he looked really, really tired and almost ready to go. And I asked him how he felt, and he goes, um, I don't feel good. No? So I said, well, is there any ache or what? He goes, no, there's no ache. No? I said, so what makes you feel not good? He goes, my children don't visit me. No?
Oh.
So I said, when was the last time you saw so and so? He goes, months, no months. Then yung isa pa, nasa abroad, di ba? So when I stepped out of his room, I talked not to the kids, di ba? I
Yeah.
said, hey, guys, no, visit your dad. No, visit your dad. Take Sunday lunch, no? Take
Yeah.
Sunday lunch or Sunday dinner together. Do you know
Mm-mm.
they did that? They
Mhm.
did that. And he lived another 7 years. No?
Oh.
And what was good was every Sunday evening, pati ako invited. Di ba? So I'm with the family having dinner, no? And
Mhm.
it went on. And
Yeah.
after he eventually passed away, that Sunday dinner kept on, no? It just kept on. And of course, nandun pa rin ako, di ba? This time it's the mother, no? This
Mm.
time it's the mother we're trying to, dahil
Oo,
lang sa
totoo.
pandemic, we stopped the
Yeah.
practice, no? But if not, every Sunday, I'm in their house,
Mm.
trying to get that family
Yeah.
together. It made a
That's
lot.
a lovely tip. So basically, create rituals with
Yeah,
with your
yeah,
senior. Also, there's something that they can look forward to, either like
yeah,
at the end of the week or ano. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a fantastic tip.
yeah.
Sige, no, no.
Yeah, if
Mhm.
there's something they look forward to, it'll push them on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Mm-mm. And just get them to be a lot more happier and in turn healthier as well.
Yep.
So yeah, Doc Mikey, we're at the top of the hour now. So before I let you
Okay.
go, I have one last
Yeah.
question for you, and that is, do you have any tips for staying and looking as young and as healthy as you are? I've only met you like once at the clinic, and I remember telling Doc Candy, ang ganda ng energy ni Doc Mikey. It's like
Energy.
Yeah, it's like it was so bright and positive, and we never really talked. But I was like, I was only parang dinaanan lang kita, and I was like, ang ganda ng energy ng taong to. Ah. I just want to hang around you, and just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's all about energy, really, no?
Mhm.
And the energy that you emanate, no, or you emit. Okay,
Mhm.
and you cannot emit energy if you don't have it. Okay,
That's
it's like a battery. No, it's
mhm.
like a battery. Are you a fully charged battery, or are you kind of ano na, di ba? Mahina. And if you're
Uh-uh.
mahina, then you recharge. Okay, so my tip most likely will be about recharging. How do you recharge? Okay, physically you recharge by eating properly.
Mm.
Okay? Eating properly, eating the good foods. Stay away from sugar. We know that. Stay away from the processed foods.
Yeah.
Take the green foods. Okay, in Genesis in the Bible, the chapter 1, no, the Lord said, "I give you all these green, no, these green leaves, trees, and whatever
Yeah.
for your food." No, so it's so clear. I
Mhm.
take barley. No, I mentioned it before. I take barley on a regular basis. That's my
Yeah.
green food. So just
Let me.
in case I end up eating something that's really, really not healthy, at least I
Yeah.
have my barley, diba?
Yeah.
Something. No?
Yeah. Mine is
Uh,
chlorophyll, so I have like my
oh
little.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. Okay. Second is the stress. Okay?
Mhm.
Try to identify the stress of the elderly, no? Whether it's they're losing control or probably they're
Mhm.
in pain, or maybe they have an emotional issue. Diba?
Yeah.
That's a second. Eat properly, take out the stress, and lastly, and for me the most important, although it's here in the last minute of our talk, is get spiritually connected to your Creator. No? When
Yes.
you're when you're connected with the Lord, uh, you won't fear death. No?
Yeah.
In fact, you'll kind of be a little ganado na,
Yeah.
okay, he has all of these things for me, di ba? He
Yeah.
promised me all these things.
I
Yeah,
gotta
no?
get out of here now.
Yep, yep. Ready to receive my gifts, di ba?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No more crying, no more wailing, no more hunger, no more pain. Come
Mm-mm.
on, give it to me. Ba? Ganyan yan.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And knowing that you are going to a place that is much better than this pandemic ridden earth of ours. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
And for me, like you just get so much more. Parang almost exciting to kind of see. I wonder what this new unknown chapter is
Yeah,
going to be, because scientifically also we're all energy. So we
yeah,
don't, when we die,
correct.
we change physically.
correct.
We may not be here, but we're still energy.
Physically,
So we
physically we end
transform
up
into something else.
as dust. Now, physically we
Yeah.
end up as dust.
Yeah.
Spiritually, where are we? We are up
Exactly.
there. No,
Yeah.
we are with our Creator. That's
Hmm.
fantastic. That's good news. That's good
Exactly.
news.
So there's nothing really to fear. So yeah, thank you so much, Doc Mikey, for spending the
My
morning with me and the rest of
pleasure.
the viewers that are watching. For those who want to, I saw like somebody wanted to set an appointment now with you. So where can they find you? I know we may or may not be open next week, depending on the
Yeah.
announcement. We're still
Uh-huh.
waiting on that. But usually, which clinics do you like to hang out, and which?
Normally at the Grove, no, the Grove by Rockwell. Sometimes in the Alabang Clinic, but
Hmm.
Quezon City is a little bit too far already for me.
Mhm. So yeah, so if you wanna get a consult with Doc Mikey, see him face to face once restrictions are lifted. That's where you can find him. What days are you usually in? Do you have a set day, or depending lang kung may nagpa-appointment?
Yeah, it depends on the appointments. Normally on Wednesdays,
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, but yeah, Wednesday's a safe day.
All right. So yeah, there you have it. Send Viber or message your nearest clinic if you want to set an appointment with Doc Mikey. He's available at the Grove and Alabang. And yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank
I hope
you.
you guys learned a lot. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Doc Mikey. I hope to see you soon.
Yep. Hope to see you.
Fingers crossed soon. Yeah. And with that, yes, have a great Sunday ahead. Bye, guys.
You too. Bye bye. Bye, guys.